We are back with our Brandy top 5. And with these cool check-in episodes, we should have done this with the new kids. I didn't think of it until after, but we should have new kids should have got their own top 5 episode instead of trying to
Trying to,
combine everything.
yeah, cram
And
everything
so
in.
I
I
wanted
mean,
to
this is still a work in progress, right? We're
yeah, for
still,
sure.
yeah.
Totally. But I kind of kicked myself for it after that new kids episode. But I wasn't going to make the same mistake twice.
There
We're
you
talking
go.
about Brandy. We just talked about her memoir, Phases, in the previous episode. And we talked about her discography as well. And now we're going to talk about her songs, our favorite songs of hers. And also, of course, we have to play Rock With It or Stop With It with her catalog. And I think the first one is The Boy Is Mine. Do you still rock with that song?
Man, I am actually not sure when the last time was that I listened to The Boy Is Mine in its entirety, because this is some like when you work in a record store for a long period of time stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working in a record store when, Brandy's first 4 albums came out. And The Boy Is Mine and Never Say Never was so like pervasive. Like we were playing it in the store all the time. It was on the radio all the time. We actually did an in-store with Brandy when Never Say Never came out and like shut the whole Bronx down. Like Brandy was just everywhere. And that is one of those songs where like I don't dislike it, but I never want to hear it again.
Mm-hmm. I will rock with it, but I do have a feeling of like this song again when it plays, but I hadn't heard it in such a long time because I'm not really listening to radio much anymore.
Right.
And when I did hear it, when I was going back to this, I was like, okay, like I like hearing the back and forth and the little kind of the dialogue between the two, and it is a play on The Girl Is Mine with Michael Jackson and
Jackson,
Paul
yeah.
McCartney. So there's that little fun thing, and they did their thing. It was a giant hit.
Huge.
I think they're still kind of benefiting from that
Mm-hmm.
song today. So good for them. I love that part. I love that about that song.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 songs from her debut album, Baby and I Wanna Be Down. What do you think about those two? Rock with it or stop with it?
I mean, Baby is a little young for me. So I would probably stop with that. That's probably like I feel like it's probably the most juvenile sounding song on the record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I Want to Be Down. There's a version of that song that's in my top 5.
Oh,
it is not the original version.
okay.
But even the original version, I still play that from time to time. That's a good song. I'll rock with it.
Yeah, I like the sound of that song a lot.
Yeah.
I thought when it came out, I was like, oh, this is like a unique R&B song.
Yeah.
All right. What about the ballad, which I think was also like on a Drew Barrymore movie soundtrack? Have You Ever?
What movie?
I'll look it up.
I mean, that's a great song. That almost made my top 5, so I will rock with that.
It is on. Oh, maybe it's Is it on Brandy's movie? I thought it was on like a Drew Barrymore movie, but there's Drew Barrymore had a time frame in which she was just doing a bunch of rom-coms.
Right.
So it's possible that what I'm thinking of is like maybe this was played in the trailer of one of those movies, but it sounds like it's actually from the double platinum movie that she did with Diana Ross.
Aha.
So, okay. The aforementioned Rodney Jerkins, What About Us? She is not Brandy in that song, by the way. She's B. Rocka. She's B. Rocka.
Mm.
Her
AKA her hip hop, all her Sasha Fierce.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, that's really like a mid song for me. If I heard it come on, I would probably skip it. So I'm gonna say stop with it.
Okay. Should I Go, which is like almost entirely Clocks by
by
Coldplay.
Coldplay. Yes.
Except there's like some claps in it.
Yeah. It's funny because on that album, she said they sampled Coldplay twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's another song. There's another song on the album, and I can't remember the name, where she legitimately says, like, I'm gonna sit down and listen to some Coldplay, and then she kind of sings a part of the song. I like Should I Go? That's a rock with it. Yeah.
We were listening to Brandy yesterday in the car, and that song came on, and my wife's like, wait, that's a different song. And I was like, yeah.
Yes.
And then I couldn't remember the name. I couldn't remember Clocks, the name of the song.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, it'll come to me. And this is part of what 50 is like things that like I should know like within a half a second. Like sometimes it takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
but
then,
it's funny. Oh, go ahead. Finish your story.
Well, I was gonna say, and then I dropped her off, and then I went to the grocery store, and I heard an entirely different song at the grocery store, and I was like, "Clocks" by Coldplay. So I don't know why the brain works that way.
Because we're old. What I was gonna say is, like, it's weird that it sampled Coldplay, but also when that album came out, that Coldplay song was only like 3 years old.
Yeah, 2002 or something, right?
Yeah.
So
a little strange.
All right. I think that's enough. Why don't we just go right into
the top fives?
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. It's funny because we were just talking about this. Number 5 is Sitting Up in My Room, from the Wait and Exhale soundtrack. It's just like it's young and kind of fresh sounding, and it doesn't even, I love Babyface.
Yeah.
But when a Babyface song comes on the radio, within like 10 seconds, you know it's a Babyface song.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in My Room does not sound like a Babyface song.
You might be surprised. I had this at number 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the reason is because I had like a bunch of songs. Like I have my number 1, and then I have like a bunch of songs that are like, I kind of like them all similarly, but the thing that makes this stand out, I think it's that soundtrack. I think because it's on that soundtrack, it just made it feel a little bit more special. Like Brandy had actually graduated into this ecosystem of like, she's made because Whitney put her on this soundtrack.
Right.
And I was like,
the whole thing is that Whitney handpicked every artist who was on that soundtrack. So it kind of feels like an anointing, right? Like a blessing.
And in the book that we talked about, she talked about like having pressure. She's like, I cannot do, I have to bring my A game to stand up, but I was selected for this. Like I can't put out a song that's not a hit. Right. And I thought they did a great job with that song.
It's a great
fantastic
song. Yeah. There's a remix of that song with LL that's not very good.
By the way, I saw LL on Instagram, just had his New York hat.
The Knicks hat with the I was like, yeah, I saw that too.
All right, 5 for me is Top of the World with none other than Mason Betha.
Yep, $$E.
And you know what I realized? And I'm sure I've realized this before, but it just came back to me when I heard him on the song. I was like, Mace could have just been a guest rapper on a bunch of songs for his entire career, because I like hearing his voice, and then I'm cool with whatever
16 bars,
16, and he's out, and I feel good with it. But then when you have to listen to a whole song or a whole album of him rapping, that's when it becomes tired.
Yeah, there's literally one song I could think of that's Mace all the way through that I like, and that's the one Mace song that everybody likes.
Tell me what you want.
Oh, Feels So Good.
Oh, okay. The first single.
Yeah, but Mace to me is like totally a guest rapper. He should have just stuck to that gig.
Yeah, no, he's an amazing guest rapper. He would have been like the best guest rapper.
Yeah.
So that's number 5 for me. I think they have really good chemistry. And you know what's interesting about that song? That song, even though it's called Top of the World, it's really about Brandy saying, you guys think I'm on top of the
Right.
world, and I'm just like this young kid who's just living out her dreams. Like,
Right.
so it was interesting listening back because, like, oh, that's what that song's about.
Yeah.
All right, what about number 4 for you?
So my number 4 is from Aphrodisiac. It's called "Who Is She to You."
Mm.
I believe it was the second single from that album. Um, and it's it's one of the songs that doesn't immediately sound like a Timbaland song. I just I like the beat. I like the way Brandy's voice is mic'd on that song. One thing that I think is super cool about Brandy's voice, and I've always thought has been cool, is that she has like a little raspy
Hmm.
kind of edge to it. And she uses that on this song. Like it's just like one of my favorite later Brandy tracks.
I'm gonna go with a song called "Long Distance"
Mm,
from I
from
think it's from
Human.
Human as well.
Hmm.
And if you've ever been in a like a long distance relationship, or maybe a relationship where maybe you don't get to see this human as much as you want, and like I think she really gets to the root of it in that song. I actually think it's a nice sounding song too.
Yeah,
I think her voice is really good on that song, and it's just I always come back to that song when I come back to her catalog.
that's a good record.
All right, number 3.
My number 3 is the "I Want to Be Down" remix with
Okay.
MC Light, Yo Yo, and Queen
Oh
Latifah.
yeah, now I remember that
Yeah.
song.
And this is just like a monumental thing, right? It's the top 3 female MCs in the game all getting together on one record. It was the first time something like that had happened. I know Boyz II Men tried to rip it off like right after, because they did this vibing remix with like Craig Mack and Busta
Oh my
Rhymes
god,
and
I remember that
like
too.
Method Man and like 2 or 3 other dudes. It didn't come off the same, but yeah, I mean everybody's verse on that song is top notch. And it was just kind of great to see, like, 3 women who are all now like legends in the game come together for one song.
Yeah, I that was that's a good choice. And sometimes when I'm doing these top fives, like I'm looking through albums and I'm looking through playlists, and then sometimes there's stuff that's not on any of the playlists
Right.
because they're on like different compilations of stuff, or they're on singles, and like I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
pull.
I mean, legit, the reason that I bought that Best of Brandy album was because it had the "I Want to Be Down" remix on it.
I gotta go back and listen to that. My number 3 is again from Human. It is Right Here Departed.
Okay.
And I feel like listening back to that song, like there's a little bit of power in that song. And I feel like if she was a little bit more popular at the time as an artist, there's a little bit of an anthem aspect to it.
Right.
Like she's like talking about like some real stuff about how you're feeling about certain things and about your heart and this person. And like there's like she's like crunching it, like she's like really feeling that song. And I'm like, man, this is a nice anthem. And it just kind of, I mean, I think it's probably well thought of when it comes to her catalog, but it didn't hit the way that I thought it would have hitted, or would have
Yeah. I mean,
would have hit.
would have hit. I mean, it was a hit. Um, and that was the song that they used to launch Human. And I remember seeing the video a lot. But I think everybody was looking for something comparable to "The Boy Is Mine" or "I Want to Be Down,"
Yeah.
and it wasn't that big a hit.
Yeah. And it's not, it's pretty middle of the road. It's not super hip hop. It's not super
Right.
R&B. It's a little older, I guess you would say, for her. But I still think it's a really nice song.
Right.
All right. What about number 2?
My number 2 was "Almost Doesn't Count."
Oh,
Um,
that was on my list too.
sure.
Or it was on the periphery of my list.
Like it's one of those like low key songs that when you think about Brandy, that song doesn't immediately come to mind. Um, but it's like it's funny in the book. She says that when they were like strategizing around the album, they just had this book of cliches
Yes.
that they would pass around. Which, now that I remember the titles of the songs on the album, that completely makes sense. and almost doesn't count as obviously a very common cliche, but just like the writing of that song. And again, this is like Brandy and like her deeper, more like husky register.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the way that song sounds.
Speaking of the cliches, another song that I think is really memorable of hers on the same album is "Never Say Never."
Yeah,
That's which is the title of the
and
album.
those songs kind of sound a little similar.
Yeah. I mentioned my number 2 already. Was your number 5? So what's your number 1?
My number one is actually Full Moon, and
Oh,
I don't know
nice.
why I like that song as much as I do. Um, but it's very like mid tempo, very moody. Like it doesn't smack you in the face like hit record,
Yeah.
but it definitely like it's a vibe, as the kids say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 15 years before It's a Vibe became like a thing, but it's really good at kind of like setting a mood. And she's talking about, she's walking into a club and she sees this guy and they lock eyes and like they're feeling something. Like it's very good at like setting setting the stage.
Okay, I kind of feel bad about my number 1 considering
Is your number one The Boy Is Mine?
No.
Oh, your number one is Brokenhearted?
My number 1 is Brokenhearted.
I mean, it's a great song.
It is a great song.
Yeah.
And I remember you may have even turned this album on to me. There was an extended version of Motown Philly, I believe, that had like alternate songs like on it that it was like a different version.
You know what? I think there was like a deluxe version.
Or maybe was it a greatest hits?
Yeah, Boyz II Men's greatest hits.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I remember Brandy has a version of Brokenhearted on her album.
Mm-hmm. But and there's no Wanye on it.
There's no Wanye. And I'm sure it was out there in single, but when I started to think about wanting that song, I was like, oh, I got to buy this Boyz II Men greatest hits to get that song. And why not have a Boyz II Men greatest hits? Like, of course. But that was the big reason for me to buy that album. And I just think that song is magic. Like when you re-listen to it through your 2026 ears and think about their ages, it's kind of like, okay, maybe I could see somebody getting turned off by that song.
Right.
But if I pull that part out of it and I think about what is my favorite Brandy song, what is the song that I always go back to when I want to hear her? Some of it is because of him. Obviously, I think he's amazing in that song.
I mean, they sound great together.
Yeah, they sound amazing together. Like they so much so that you're like, maybe if they weren't 7 years age difference or whatever, if they could have been an adult couple and done an album together, like that would have been pretty cool. Right. So that's my favorite Brandy record is Brokenhearted.
It's funny, I just looked it up. So the Boyz II Men album, both albums, there's a Boyz II Men greatest hits and a greatest hits album on Apple Music. Both of them have Brokenhearted on it, but on the Boyz II Men album, it's grayed out.
Oh.
So the only way you can play Brokenhearted is, to stream the best of Brandy.
Okay. There you go.
Interesting take there.
Get your streams, Brandy. Get your streams.
There you go.
All right. So I could tell folks what is upcoming because what
is upcoming, Garrett?
We are going to do a cool check-in on the Boyz II Men catalog, and we'll do it very similar to what we did with the Brandy. We'll have a top 5 for them as well. But the next actual 50 for 50 is going to be a Tribe Called Quest. So that'll be a lot of fun to do. And I'm in, I'm in my my Tribe listening stage, and this is like, I think I've mentioned this before, but how I generally listen to all these albums is when I work out, I throw them on. And so sometimes, like when I'm working out and I'm listening to Here and Now by Luther, I'm like, okay, this isn't really elevating my heart rate.
That's not a workout song, man.
But the Tribe, listening to them, that's gonna elevate my heart rate a little bit. So that's what's on the docket for me. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
All righty. So that's it from here. We'll be back next week for more 50 for 50. And if you've missed anything, check out 50for50.net, which also features Mike's reviews of all the albums that we are covering on 50 for 50. and also our playlists that Mike is putting together. So you can check all
Yes.
of that stuff out. So for Mike, I am Double G. We will see you when we see you. Peace out.